Hey there everyone, happy Thursday evening. King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon here to give you some updates on some of the changes we've been seeing here in the models for this coming weekend and heading into next work week. I'll just give you a little bit of a hint. Doesn't look like the coldest air is going to be here across the Pacific Northwest, or at least here into western Washington. We'll go over that, talk about those snow chances, plus we'll go over what's going to be happening to end off your work week tomorrow heading into Friday. First today, as we saw more of the sunshine, but more of that colder air. Highs making their way in the lower 40s, low 30s, below freezing again for those lows this morning. Both of those numbers well off where they should be for this time of the year. And some of the other area highs at mid 40s in Port Angeles at 45, 41 if you all, 43 in Renton with your current numbers right now already dropping into the 30s, upper 20s in Olympia, 29 right now in Bellingham. And there's a little wind out there, so that does have some of our real field temperatures as maybe you have some family members heading home from that 49ers and Seahawks game. Right now, those wind chills in the 20s. It was a cold game out there at Lumen Field. All right, another look at the country, and you can see that colder air mass trying to spread its way a little farther towards the east. Still seeing that the core of it, though, up there across the Rockies and into the northern plains with teens into some of those spots. For us tonight here in Seattle, we drop down near that freezing point, a few degrees below, and then we start to bounce back again where we see more of that sunshine ahead. Satellite and radar picture, all is good and all is quiet here. High pressure still in control. That area of low pressure off to the east really been doing a number and some higher snow totals and some heavy wet snow across Minnesota and Wisconsin. And they've been dealing with some severe weather too as you go farther south into the country there. For us, yeah, it's just been this area of high pressure that's been pretty close and nearby. So tonight, tomorrow, it looks like we're dry. No worries about any precipitation at all. Here we are at 4 p.m. Still quiet, so the end of your work week looks to be good. Then we head into tomorrow night. You start to see some of those returns showing up on radar, generally out there along the coast with some lighter sprinkles. But I think a lot of that holds off until we head on into the latter part of the day on Saturday. That's when we get enough moisture in play where we're going to keep an eye out for some of the mountains starting to pick up on some of the snow there too. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly where some of these bands set up as we head into this upcoming weekend. Because you can see right there, right at sound level or right there by Puget Sound, we're probably dealing with more areas of rain as the air mass does look to be a little warmer. These were some of the changes I was talking about. But as you go into the foothills and up into the mountains, we're talking about snow that could be up into those parts as those bands will put down some amounts of snow that we could see some accumulations with that. Then we head into Sunday and that starts to sink a little farther to the south while colder air starts to sink in across Whatcom County. We get a little bit of a better chance of maybe noticing some snow into those parts as well. So those are going to be your prime areas here for the weekend up around Whatcom County and around Hood Canal and getting closer to the western Kitsap Peninsula. Now on to the colder air mass because that is continuing to show to sink southward into this upcoming weekend. Now by early Saturday you can see that's heading right towards us, but then check out some of the changes we've had since yesterday. This is 5 a.m. heading into Sunday and we have that colder air mass kind of locked in right there over British Columbia, not making too much more of a progression southward, and it just kind of hangs out there. So that's been the changes that we've been seeing here throughout the course of today, that air mass looks to kind of hang around across British Columbia and then it scoots off towards more of just the east as opposed to the southeast. So even spots such as Montana heading into the northern plains, yeah, they still get a pretty good push of some Arctic air, some modified Arctic air, but it's not quite as cold as what it was showing up before. And it looks like for us, we're going to start to warm up quickly as we head on into more so late Wednesday and definitely Thursday. That will be your transition day there as we'll have another pretty wet system coming through with a lot of moisture, but the air mass starting to warm at that time. We'll probably start off with some sort of wintry precipitation in the lowlands, but it quickly changes over to rain as the warmer air wins out. So as far as the next few days, highs still in the low 40s. We're still talking about rain generally from Everett on southward here for the upcoming weekend. Then we head on into Monday and Tuesday, and that's when we can start to see more of that mixing showing up across the areas for southern Snohomish County and areas southward as we go on into the rest of early next work week. Here are your lows tonight. We drop down into the upper 20s and low 30s. Tomorrow's highs low 40s with partly sunny skies farther north. Same story as you go farther south as well. Bellevue up to 42, mid 40s in Issaquah. Check out North Bend getting up to 47 degrees, and then South Sound calling for highs more around those lower 40s. Puyallup 43, 42 in Olympia. Areas across the coast seeing mid to upper 40s, a few lower 50s possibly there too. Farther east across the state, expect to see much more of that cold air, maybe some patchy areas of freezing fog, but temperatures that are going to drop all the way into the teens to start off tomorrow morning, then only get up into the mid to upper 20s by tomorrow afternoon. Here's your 7-day forecast. Yeah, we still do have some of those snow icons around heading into next Tuesday and Wednesday, and we still have the rain and snow here over the weekend, but it's going to be really limited, and it looks like most of those spots, again, definitely north of Seattle, but around Everett and northward for Saturday evening, and then heading on into Sunday as well with that transition day by next Thursday. That's going to be the transition day that we see as colder air mass will start to head on out of here. Those temperatures start to climb back more into the mid to maybe perhaps even lower 40s as we head on into later Thursday night, which will mean that if you're going to be heading out for any sort of travel later on into next week, you should be okay. So thankfully we'll get that to be the case, but of course we'll keep you updated if we do have any changes. But what we are noticing is a slight warming trend in some of the temperatures heading into next week, and not as much of a mess here in the lowlands for some of the snow that we're expecting here into some of those parts. But I will admit that the mountains are looking like they're still going to get hit late weekend, more so into the earlier half of next work week, where we could see maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet of snow throughout that time. So good for skiers and snowboarders. If you have some family coming into town for the holidays, I'm sure they'll be pretty happy about that. Okay, everyone, hope you have a good rest of your night and enjoy your Friday just around the corner. We'll give you more updates heading into the day tomorrow, and of course we'll keep you updated here through the weekend and early to next work week. Take care.